And welcome to the YouTube edition of the Rhonda K Show. I wonder if you like my lighting where I have half of my face lit on one side and half on the other side. And the way I get that effect is I have a window to my left, and of course the screen may be flipped for you because I didn't change my settings, but I have a window on one side where natural sunlight is coming in. I am not using any of my lighting. If I want a different effect, I would use it and place my lighting to light me on either side of me. I use 3-point lighting whenever I do use my lights. And I got a little shadow, a little extra shadow coming from this hat. So those are a few things that you could do to play with lighting when you're lighting for a set. I'm Rhonda K. I'm here today with something to say, something that may help you out along the way. And so what I would like to talk about today, I don't have a whole lot of planned things. Sometimes I'll have a planned script with a list of things that are on my heart that I want to talk about. But today is just one of those days I just want to get out here because I haven't made a video. And so I talk about all of the tech tips that you could learn from me. I have another channel. In fact, I'm going to play a video from my Let's Talk Tech Guru page. And I finally got on TikTok. Now, I am not an advocate or, in fact, I'm actually anti-TikTok, meaning I would just prefer if the platform went away. I would prefer if people not use it, but people actually do make money on that platform. The reason I got on it is because I was trying to support someone on the platform. And so what I did is I did not download the app. So for those of you who are like me, if you want to use TikTok and see people that you know and support them, what I also did was, this is another, it should be on my tech, Let's Talk Tech Talk Guru page, but I'm going to share it here. Mozilla has a new feature where you can set up an alias as an email address, and you can give it to people who you don't know if you can trust to give them your email address. And it anonymizes your email address. That means it doesn't show your name, your information. Now, of course, Mozilla will have all of that information. Mozilla, for anyone who doesn't know who Mozilla is, it is the Firefox browser. And if you don't have the Firefox browser, you can download it on your computer. I use Firefox most of the time. There is another browser that is pretty private. It's called Brave, and it's kind of like Chrome. It reminds you of Chrome. It feels like Chrome. And one of the things you may find out once you start using different browsers is that all browsers are not created equal. Let me take a sip of my tea while it is still hot. We're going to come back to what I really want to talk about in a minute, but since I'm taking a sip of this tea, I got introduced to herbal teas in the 90s. My mom introduced me. She said, if you will start drinking tea in October or in early fall before it starts to get cold, you will never get sick. And you know what? Since that time, it's now 2025, I may get a cold or the flu every 5 years. And it's the one time that I may get attacked. Many times I'll get attacked, but my body fights it off. So what I found is that being healthy is not just one thing that you do all the time. It's a combination of things. And this is one of the things that I do, besides when I was on the health kick trying to eat properly. I would do my herbal teas. And then I discovered a secret recipe that I call my Superman tea. And if you want that recipe, you will have to put some notes in the chat and I will send it to you. Put your email in the chat and I will personally email you the recipe to this Superman tea. And I'm not going to say I swear by it because I don't swear. I don't believe in that per se. But I will say, whenever someone has been sick that knows me and knows that I drink this tea, then they will call me and ask me to make them some of my Superman tea. And so my brother really likes it. He's like, I want some of that Superman tea. Give me some of that Superman tea you make. Because I named it Superman tea because of him. I call him Superman because nothing can get that guy down. And it's not just because he's 6'3" and big and muscular, but nothing can get that guy down. You know, I've seen him in our younger days when I would call him to help move. He'd lift couches by himself, just crazy stuff, refrigerators, washers, you know, things like that. But another quick fun fact about this tea is during the pandemic, I think I can say that, I was drinking this along with some of my other health things, and I noticed I was working a full-time job at that time, and I noticed early January, a lot of people were out of work, and they would call, you know, they would. My boss came in one day. He said, "I'm just coming to let you guys know what's going on. I'm out sick. I'm really not supposed to be here," and he looked horrible. And now, hindsight being 2020, I now know that he and all the people that were out of work or at home sick was because of the pandemic. Now, mind you, at this time, we did not know. Let me fix my hat because it's bothering me sitting crooked. It's hard for me to tell with these cameras if stuff is straight. I'm using that as my mirror. But anyway, he and a bunch of people were out sick for a good while. So our workplace looked like a skeleton crew. And then it's me and one other person working. And she's like, "Hey, I didn't want you to be by yourself." I'm like, "If you're sick, you need to go home. You don't need to be here suffering." And I'm around all of these people who are sick or they fell sick. And I never got sick. And so one of our people, he worked remotely from another location, and he would come into the office, drive into town because he lived like 300 or so miles away, and he would drive in every 6 weeks and work from the office. And so he was like, "How are you not getting sick being around all these people that are sick?" And I'm like, "I don't know. My body just, I guess, is fighting it off." And in fact, we sheltered in place, and I never told this publicly to people, but when we sheltered in place, we would allow people to come and stay with us to shelter because nobody was moving around at that time. And someone did get sick, like had to be hospitalized. And I'm still walking around, you know, I'm taking care of sick people, not getting sick. And I attribute it to two things: God and my Superman tea, you know, because I believe that God promised us health. A good life and long health, and sickness does not have to get you down. And my sister, she'll be a testimony to that. I mean, she is literally the toughest person that I know. Now, I know I call my brother Superman. He's the strongest man that I know. But my sister is the toughest person that I know. And I always say she is the one that's gangster when it's time. You know, they have a saying, young kids, well, actually not young kids today, but young kids, I think during slightly before my time, they would say gangster when it's time. Everybody wants to be gangster until it's time. Well, she's gangster when it's time. And all that simply means is that when you say you want to do something and you're in on something that's going to be hard to do, that's going to take a group effort, that is the person that you want to get on your team when it's time to do something that's gangster when it's time. And so I thought I'd share that while I was drinking my tea. I know I got way off of what I was talking about, but download the browser if you want uh, to be able to the Firefox. If you don't have Firefox, if you want to be able to create an anonymous email, in fact, I may create a video if there's enough demand for creating that. And that way you don't have to keep creating so many fake Gmail accounts. And you keep the one account and you protect your real email address, because you just may get some important information. You just may sign up for something important. Like, for instance, my Connect cards. I'm going to do an advertisement on behalf of myself for a new app. Now, you've heard of Blink cards, okay? And so the Blink card is an app that people use to as a business card. And there's a monthly fee. You get a free version, and then there's a monthly fee. Well, what if I told you that I have something that you could buy that's very comparable, even better? And what if I told you that if you got in early, you buy it one time and never have to buy business cards again? Now, introducing Connect cards. And let's see, let me show you. I'm going to show you on my phone, and then I'm going to take you to the website. That's the app. And so when you first log in, if you're already logged in, it's going to take you to your cards, and your cards are going to be a list of connections that you have, and you have a link to access your card at the very top of the page. And your card, notice you can put your website address, you can put your email address, you can even do a special promotion and change out that link. You can't do that with business cards. And your special promotion, whenever you're talking with somebody, is great. You put a link to your special promotion, and it pulls up, say you're talking, and you link to your special promotion, and you share it with whoever you're meeting with or networking with at the time, and it takes them right to your special promotion. The beauty about that is you can change it whenever you get ready. Let's say your phone number changes, or your business number changes, or your address changes. Then you never have to order new cards. You know how many of these I got? Let's see. These are my business cards. I got so many of these. And so I went to a business event a couple of years ago when QR codes were first getting popular. And I was passing out my business card. I think it looks rather nice. Let's Talk Productions. And one of the young kids say, "We don't do that anymore." And I felt some kind of way, but I was happy that they were trying to share stuff. He showed me his card. Well, he had a physical card, but the card had a QR code on it. And so I'm saying this is better than that. I don't know where he is today, but if I can find him today, because I didn't get one of his cards, I didn't have a way to keep up. I scanned his QR code, but it didn't save it. But with this, you can scan the QR code to share the card with someone. You can even import the contact into your phone. That's what this app does. So if someone, let's say your grandmother, somebody, she doesn't need a business card. All she needs is a place to keep all of her phone numbers or business cards that people give her. Then if you have a Connect card, then or a Connect card account, then you can keep all of your business cards in the Connect cards account. So I think that's a neat little handy feature or app that I'm very, very proud of. And so if you're on Blink, I don't know who that is. I don't know if they're a small company, but they are pretty popular now. But I'm a real person behind the business. So you have access to me. How many companies, you can't go to Google and say, hey, Google, I don't like this feature. But you can come to me and say, hey, Rhonda K, can you add this feature or that feature? We need to start supporting small businesses because we are small ourselves. We need to stop putting our trust in the big guys. Now, the big guys, a lot of them, they did, in all fairness to them, they did start out small. However, um, there are very few giants. And if we keep placing our trust in the giant just because they are a giant, then this is how we keep the little guy little. This is how all of us collectively lose power because I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say it. I know this video might get taken down, but Amazon is going to literally bop everybody over the head because they own too much of too many different commodities. And you know how they got that way? They got that way because of us. All of our credit cards are in Amazon. I remember when Amazon first came out, I was very, very happy and proud to be a part of Amazon because I could order whatever I wanted. And then they had the TV. Now, tech gurus at that time, I was a tech guru, but at that time I wasn't as aware as I am now. I was just happy that I could do some technical things. Um, Long story short, they told us about Amazon. And now I'm telling you, Amazon has prescription drugs. A business might say, oh, well, I want to put my product on Amazon. That's where all the people are. What they did is they did something really smart. They started out with books. They dominated the search engines because it was really easy back then to dominate the search engines. And in fact, if you want to know how to dominate the search engines today, it's a little bit different. Contact me and I can help you with that. But I'm going to show you before I transition back, and then I'll transition back. But this is the Connect card. You connect, you share, and you grow. People who don't need an account because they have a business card, people who don't need to make a business card can actually get an account for free and just hold all of their business cards. This is great for like your mom or somebody um, who really needs to be able to keep up with the digital age. And this hat is just really bothering me. This this camera is not like a real mirror, so I got to deal with that right now. Anyway, so the regular cost is $5.99 a month. You can compare that with other digital cards. Um, but if you buy it at the time that I'm making this video, I am selling these at a one-time cost of $75 and you never have to pay again. You buy your digital card one time, you can make up to 3 business cards. For instance, I have Let's Talk Productions, and then I have another business that is called Dallas Technical Institute, where I do tech training and things like that. Now, going back to, I was talking about the lighting and how I got this lighting. You can learn all about that in my uh, free film course, and it is on this channel as well, the least amount that you could make. But in the full course, I talk about, lighting. I talk about everything from A to Z to get a production company up and running. On my YouTube channel, you're going to see a lot of informal videos. That's just me trying to get out there without procrastinating and not make it perfect. I want you to check out my docu-series that's going to be about hidden treasures of business owners. I'm interviewing, or I've already done the interview of a cleaning conglomerate, dry cleaning franchise, and I'm excited about that because who would have thought that I'd actually run into the franchise owner? And so I met him, and we've been, connected and networking since that point. We're going to do some other things together, but I'm excited to tell his story because he have a great one. I'm supposed to do, I don't know if you know Michael Jenkins of the Dallas Summer Musicals. I met with him over the summer, and he and I and his wife talked about doing his documentary. He has a great story. He is responsible for bringing Broadway plays to the city of Dallas at the Majestic Theater and the Fair Park in the big theater there in the Symphony Hall. And we did an interview many years ago when I had my short pixie cut. I got to show you guys that. And that was a fun interview. I learned a lot at that time about him literally being responsible for painting the numbers on the stadium chairs and in front of the chairs. So you'll know he was a kid. He was just a kid. That was his first job. And he went on to form his own company, building theme parks around the world and managing the Dallas Summer Musicals up until he's not managing it now, but he managed the Dallas Summer Musicals for many years. And so we need to know who was literally a part of history here in Dallas, Texas, that no one knows. We go to these places and we take it for granted that we are in the era of living history that will one day be in books and magazines. Well, actually, he's already in books and magazines, and he's friends with Walt Disney of the Disney Channel. And so I just find it amazing to be a part of that. It's not something that I went looking for. My show director, my previous show director, would go out and find these people and say, hey, you need to interview these people. And I'm like, well, the Rhonda K show is not about interviewing celebrities, and it's really not. But if they have a great story, I really just can't resist. And it's not to say that, celebrities have not earned their place and paid their dues, but it's just that is not what I'm looking for. I'm not purposefully going out and saying, because we have this tendency, all of us have this tendency to put certain people who have made a certain status way up here, and we put ourselves down here. You should start putting yourself up here, not thinking more highly than you ought to of yourself, as the Bible says, but thinking properly about what it is you do. I've said in videos before, we oftentimes do not value what we have until after the fact. I didn't value the information and the knowledge that I've had as a young adult in tech and the things that I knew, because it came to me easily. And a lot of times the stuff that comes to you easy is your gift, is how God made you, and other people will try to imitate it, but it won't come out like how it would come out if you did it. Other people may try to imitate you, but they'll never be able to get the same result as you, because God gave that to you, and it's up to you to do what he put in you to do, and nobody else. You have to learn how to hear, how to feel, how to receive the inclinations, and you have to learn how to work from here. Many times, if you work from here, meaning inspiration that comes here at the time that you're inspired, because inspiration is best expressed at the time that you're inspired, then that thing that you are inspired to do will come out really great. If you try to force yourself to do it at another time and you don't do it when you are inspired, then many times it's not going to come out the same way. It's going to be a different inspiration. That's neither a good or a bad thing. Sometimes it can be good, but sometimes you never catch that same inspiration that would have benefited people. Oh, in fact, if you look behind me, you'll see me and my two children. That's when I wore the short pixie cut. That's a different style of it because I got it combed out of my face. My kids and I were at the museum, the Science Museum, and I love that place. In fact, I did an interview, a Rhonda K Show interview. It'll be on this channel or on the other Rhonda K Show channel. You can view that. I did an interview series of hidden treasures, but I like this YouTube version of the Rhonda K Show because I can be very informal and just talk about different things that I think might be a benefit to you, as well as I'm open to receiving questions and inquiries on some things that topics you might want me to cover, or some things you might be interested in learning, where I'll do a full video tutorial series. For instance, I'm currently planning or working on a Swift course, and I will show you that. It's going to play on my Let's Talk Tech Guru channel, and you'll be able to see that. I've been talking and ranting long enough, but I have a new tech series. Series for lack of a better term. It's like a bunch of videos. Whenever I have a rant, I'm going to do rants about those videos. And so that's what I'm going to play for you now. And then I'll probably end with some commercials and call it done for today. Let's see if I can find it. It's going to take me a moment because I'm playing picture in picture from my YouTube channel. And hopefully I get that right. Take a look. This is Rhonda's Rants. I have a client. I am their developer, and they had their site done by someone else before. So whenever you have a website and you switch to another provider, then you're always going to have issues, and it's most common with websites. So if you're going to use like a service or anything like that, you want to make sure you sign up for any service related to your website or your business, period. You want to sign up in your name. And the reason is because when you get ready to change providers, you need to be able to access the account or hand them a set of credentials. I have an actual video that shows people how to, or the most common things that they need to do in order to protect their website, which is their business. And the main things you need to know is you should be responsible for buying the domain name, registering it. The domain name costs anywhere from $6 to $35 or $40 per year. That's once yearly you pay for your domain name. You can buy them for years at a time, or you can buy them yearly and let them renew yearly. When you register your domain name, set it to auto renew so that you don't lose access to it. And if you register it for more than 1 year, it's easy to let it slip. I registered my main website domain for 5 years at a time, which is great. At least it used to be great, because the search engines give your website preference, more ranking, if you register it for a number of years. But what happens is, what if you change your credit card and you forgot that you changed it? Or what if you forgot that the domain expired all those years later? So I wanted to let you see a little bit of that. And if you want to watch the full video, or you want to hear any of that again, and just only that, then you can go to my Let's Talk Tech Guru. Is it Let's Talk? Yeah, Let's Talk Tech Guru channel. I'll put a link to it in the bottom of this, or there'll be a link to it in the bottom of this video. And so I just wanted to let people know that those are some ways that you can save yourself from a lot of headache. Because I've had a lot of people. I had one man, he gave a guy $10,000, and he gave him all of his 501c3 credentials, and had the guy to go build him a website. And then he comes back and he says, well, I need you to help me. You know, he calls me. People always call me. They call me once they get into trouble. And so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the fixer. And it's the same thing whenever I would work on contracts. I had this lady, she would call me. She was like, we hired this person and they didn't work out so well, so we need you to go in and fix it. And I was like, I'm seeing a pattern here. So anyway, the guy says, can you help me get it back? And I was like, well, I don't know. And the same thing happened with the client I was talking about in that video. They were like, well, can you help me get my domain back? And I'm like, I'm not really sure if I can help you to get your domain name back. We're just going to see. We're going to try it and see what we could do. And because I never want to make any promises, because things change. You know, it might have been easy or it might have been not easy, but I might have been able to do it in times past. But the internet and technology is always changing, so you're never going to get the same result. Which brings me to another rant. What if you could be the person that comes up with, and this is what I explained to a young programmer who was saying, he was complaining at a job we worked at a number of years ago. And he said, how am I going to learn if they don't let me work on projects? Well, he was too eager to get out there, and the company's not just going to come let you experiment and mess up their live stuff. And I said, here's what you do. You don't depend on a company to give you an opportunity. You do a project. If it's something that you want to do, for instance, when I worked in corporate America, they did tuition reimbursement and they would pay for some classes. They would not pay for some other classes. If there's a class that they weren't going to pay for, I'm not going to let that stop me from learning it. I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to say, hey, maybe they won't pay for it. They will pay for stuff. I'll take what they will pay for. And I'm going to find a way to take and learn the stuff that I want to learn, because there are a lot of things that aren't taught in schools, just so you know. And I'm one of those who will teach some of those things that are not taught in schools. So that's why I want you to stay tuned to this channel. For me, it's moving a bit slow because I don't get to make as many videos as I would like to make right now. But I promise you that the videos I do make will bring some value to you. I promise to do my best to put all the value that I can for the people who take the time to actually watch this channel. And I also hope you will follow my actual TV show on my Roku channel, on Roku, on the Rhonda K Show. So you can find the Rhonda K Show on Roku, and it will be on Amazon. It will be on, I'm debating on whether I want to put it on Apple TV, but also Android, iOS, or wherever it is you watch your TV. So I just wanted to let you know about that. But those are things that I wanted to share today. Like I said, I didn't have anything special planned. I'm going to show you a few commercials and then I'm going to be out. And I hope to see you in my next video. Put in the chat what it is that you would like to see. Anything that you're interested in learning, and I'll be happy to make a video if I'm able to. And I'll keep you posted on, because those of you who are interested, if you follow my tech channel, I'm going to train people how to program, because we're going to need that. In this age of AI, we're going to need you guys to learn programming. That's my prediction. If we're creating all this AI, and if what they are predicting is going to come true, then we need more of us, to be programmers. And I'm going to help in any way that I can. I'm Rhonda K, and I hope what I had to say today will help you out along the way.
Delight yourself in mouth-watering flavor and drift away. Delight yourself in delightful desserts from our kitchen to your table. Catering